Hello everyone, my name is Tomomi Sugai, and I'm from Nagoya City University in Japan. Today, I'll be presenting my research titled Unraveling the Impact of Note-Taking on Listening Comprehension Across Text Difficulty Levels in EFL Learners. This research explored how note-taking and text difficulty levels affect Japanese EFL learners' performance in English listening tests. I'll start by reviewing the previous research. First one examines the effect of taking notes in the portion of the TOEFL listening comprehension section that contains short monologues or mini talks. In this study, TOEFL mini talks test was used, which is designed to be answered without note-taking, and the listening test was conducted with conditions for each passage. Note-taking allowed condition, note-taking urged condition, or no note-taking condition. As a result, in the note-taking urged condition, urging to take notes significantly impaired grades because mini talks were short and questions didn't include specific details like names and dates. Therefore, it is unclear that how note-taking affects performance when the text length is longer and contains detailed questions. And it is also unclear the relationship between note-taking and listening comprehension when there are texts of various difficulty levels. Next research was titled Relation Analysis of Presence of Note-Taking and Test Score After the Lecture. This study examines the relationship between note-taking during lectures and scores on a post-test. The experiment was conducted during an actual 60-minute lecture at a Japanese university, and the participants were Japanese university students taking this lecture. Participants were given handouts containing diagrams and other information that would be explained in the lecture. They were then instructed to take notes as they normally would do during the lecture. After the lecture, handouts and notes were collected and the participants took a post-test. The results shows that participants who took notes tended to perform significantly better than those who did not. This study shows that note-taking in the first language influenced post-test scores, but the relationship between note-taking and test scores in a foreign language is unclear. These two previous studies had different results on the effect of note-taking, and no research was conducted on the relationship between difficulty levels and note-taking. So in this study, we focused on note-taking and the difficulty level of listening text. So here is a research question. What is the relationship between the difficulty level of listening passages and the efficacy of note-taking? The two previous studies mentioned above had different results on the effect of note-taking, and there is not previous research that investigated the relationship between difficulty levels and note-taking. So this study was conducted exploratory. There might be four hypotheses regarding the effect of text difficulty level and note-taking. The first one is listening comprehension is promoted on low difficulty level text with note-taking. The second one is listening comprehension is promoted on low difficulty level text without note-taking. The third one is listening comprehension is promoted on high difficulty level text with note-taking. The fourth one is listening comprehension is promoted on high difficulty level text without note-taking. Next, move on to the method. The participants were 33 Japanese university undergraduate or graduate students, of whom 60 were male and 17 were female. They are EFL learners, and their CEFAL level were A2, B1, B2, or C1. Materials we used in this research were selected from the reading test on the test of practical English proficiency at grade 4 and grade pre-1 level workbooks. The passage in test 1 was about Makoto, a Japanese junior high school student doing a homestay in Australia. And the passage in test 2 was about a Brazilian exchange student coming to Yumi's junior high school in Japan. Both passages were at grade 4 level, and they were about 175 words length. The passage in test 3 is about wealthy Chinese people buying Chinese art overseas and bringing it back to China as a sign of patriotism. The passage in test 4 is about research that found that ancient jade earrings indicated advanced political, economic, and social networks existed in Southeast Asia. Both passages are at pre-1 level, and they are about 310 words length. To create audio of these 4 reading passages for listening test, we used a text-to-speech software called Ondoku-san, and the comprehension questions were created in ChatGPT and then modified by us. Each of the 4 passages contained 5 multiple-choice questions and 10 true or false questions. Participants also answered how confident they are in answers on a scale of 5, so that we can eliminate the answers that were answered correctly by chance. In this study, participants were randomly assigned to 2 patterns. 2 patterns are counterbalanced, as shown in this table. When participants did 2 listening tests with note-taking, there were no rules for note-taking, such as language, mark, note-taking strategies. But they must take notes on a blank piece of paper while listening. Then they could look at their notes while solving comprehension questions. The procedure of this research is that participants could listen to the audio only once, and they could not see the comprehension questions while listening to the audio. Then they answered 15 comprehension questions about the content of the audio and confidence test in 5 minutes. Participants did a total of 4 listening tests, 2 tests with note-taking, and 2 tests without note-taking, as in this procedure. Next, analysis. We used analysis of variance and analyzed the data by level of their self-confidence. Participants answered their confidence of their answers on a scale of 5. 1 is the lowest, it means they do not have confidence. Self-confidence 5 is the highest, it means they have strong confidence. In analysis 1, all answers were included, which is self-confident 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In analysis 2, answers which are self-confident 2, 3, 4, and 5 were used. Now I will tell you what we found. The score obtained from the test were put into a two-way analysis of variance. Here is a graph of all answers, which means self-confidence levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This table shows the analysis result for all answers. However, in the case of all answers, no significant differences were found. Next, to eliminate answers that participants answered correctly by chance, we analyzed the answers with confidence levels 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here is a graph. This table shows the analysis result. The interaction between difficulty and condition of note-taking was found to be significant. Next, this table shows the analysis result of simple main effects for difficulty and condition interaction. It shows that note-taking efficacy tends to influence on low difficulty level passages. So I will now revisit the research question. What is the relationship between the difficulty level of listening passages and the efficacy of note-taking? The answer is there is interaction between the difficulty level of listening passages and note-taking. In other words, note-taking efficacy is influenced by the difficulty level of listening passages. And we found that listening comprehension tends to be affected by note-taking on the low difficulty level passages. Participants might be able to take notes more effectively during easier passages compared to more difficult ones. This suggests that note-taking may reduce their working memory capacity during the listening process. On the other hand, the reason there was no effect of note-taking on high difficulty level passages may be these passages were too difficult for participants, and they did not afford to take notes compared to easier passages. So there may have been no difference between test with note-taking and test without note-taking. Moving forward, further research should explore larger sample size and examine working memory and the characteristics of the contents written in papers during tests with note-taking. And it would be better to use two high difficulty passages with the same fresh Kincaid grade level in further research. But the fact that the two high difficulty passages had different fresh Kincaid grade levels in this research is not a problem because they were counterbalanced. Here are references. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.